working to connect a region of over 600 mil bridges between our lands.
Hello and welcome to ASEAN in Focus. I'm Judy Temera, delivering to you the latest news in and around the ASEAN region. On today's headlines, President Duterte renewed his appeal to Congress to restore the death penalty to curb illegal drugs and corruption in government. In an effort to push ahead with concrete cooperation, ASEAN and Turkey adopted a 5-year roadmap to forge collaboration in areas of mutual interest. And Bali is rolling out a ban on plastic straws and bags to rid the holiday island of waste as Indonesia scales up efforts to tackle its trash problem. President Duterte renewed his appeal to Congress to restore the death penalty to curb illegal drugs and corruption in government. In delivering his fourth State of the Nation address, or SONA, President Duterte expressed disappointment that 3 years have passed by and illegal drugs and corruption remain to be the country's problems. According to the President, the Marawi siege, which he said was funded by drug money, is one of the reasons why he is advocating for the reimposition of capital punishment. The President said that while there is a long way to go before the government puts an end to the illegal substance, he will not renege on his resolve to fight the drug trade.
Let me begin by extending my hand in gratitude to all who kept faith with me in our most trying times. Numbers speak 1,000 words, tell 100 tales, but the landslide victory of the administration candidates, as well as the latest survey result, shows that my disapproval rating is 3%. I hope that the members of Congress, sana hindi kayo included sa 3%, inspires me with determination to pursue relentlessly what we have started at the start of my administration. Few men imbued with the will and the courage to do what he believes is right, for it is not the eagle in the fight, but the fight in the eagle that matters. Believe me, I will end my term fighting. It has been 3 years since I took my oath of office, and it pains me to say that we have not learned our lesson. The illegal drug problem persists. Corruption continues and emasculate the courage we need to sustain our moral recovery initiatives.
Meanwhile, the Philippine government is performing a delicate balancing act on the issue of the West Philippine Sea, or WPS, so as to avoid engaging with conflicts with other claimants such as China, President Rodrigo Duterte assured the public on Monday.
On the matter of the Philippine West Philippine Sea, the avoidance of conflict, armed conflict, and protection of our territorial waters and natural resources compel us to perform a delicate balancing act. A shooting war is grief and misery multiplier. War leaves widows and orphans in its wake. I am not ready or inclined to accept the occurrence of more destruction, more widows, and more orphans should war, even on a limited scale, breaks out. More and better resources.
The chief executive added that the administration believes that a bilateral discussion would prove to be fruitful than a squabble in public. Thus, the existing bilateral consultation mechanism on the South China Sea between the two states, answering those urging the government to stand up and stop those who fish in the country's exclusive economic zone. Duterte said the Philippines will be or will do in due time.
That is why I will do in the peaceful way, mindful of the fact that it is a national pride and territorial integrity that are at stake.
A majority of the people in the Philippines support President Rodrigo Duterte, according to a recent poll. Here are some reactions.
Kasi hindi naman nawawala yung droga, yung patayan lalong lumalala. Yung mga pangako niya wala namang natutupad. Yan ang totoo.
Ako, sinusuportahan ko si Pangulong Duterte dahil naniniwala ako na meron naman siyang nagawang kabutihan sa Pilipinas. Katulad ng kahit paano nabawasan ng mga addiction dito, nabawasan ng mga addict. Pangalawa, yung sa kalikasan natin, nakalinis niya yung Boracay, yung Manila Bay.
Para sa akin okay naman dahil sa ibalik niya yung yung tiwala ng mga tao, pwede ka na maglakad-lakad ulit, 'di ba? Safe ka na, saka nawala yung mga taong addict.
Ang pinakagusto ko sa kanya, talagang pag sinabi niya, natutupad naman ginagawa niya, at saka action man siya action man. Ang hindi ko lang minsan nagugustuhan yung kanyang pananalita, minsan tactless, di ba?
Sinusuportahan ko yung presidente natin sa magandang intention niya sa atin. Kaya lang, sa war on drugs, parang pabataan ng pabatay yung namamatay. Parang hindi yata magandang tignan.
In other news, Philippine journalist Maria Resa's libel trial opens Tuesday in a case that press freedom advocates see as government retaliation for her news site's critical reporting on President Rodrigo Duterte. Resa, who leads online outlet Rappler and was named a Time magazine Person of the Year in 2018 for her journalism, is out on bail and faces years in prison if convicted. This case is among a string of criminal charges that have hit Resa and Rappler over the past year, prompting allegations that authorities are targeting her and her team for their work. The news portal has reported extensively and often critically on Duterte's policies, including a deadly crackdown that rights groups say may be a crime against humanity. And I quote, "The message that the government is sending is very clear," Resa told reporters in February as she posted bail after spending the night in jail over the libel case, "Be Silent or You're Next." The case that opens Tuesday centers on a Rappler report from 2012 about a businessman's alleged ties to a then judge of the nation's top court. Government investigators initially dismissed the businessman's 2017 complaint about the article, but state prosecutors later decided to file charges. The legal foundation of the case is a controversial cybercrime law aimed at online offenses ranging from stalking to child pornography. The libel case has drawn international attention, with Canadian Foreign Minister Chrystia Freeland and former U.S. Secretary of State Madeleine Albright expressing concern over democratic rights. Prominent rights lawyer Amal Clooney, who joined Resa's legal team this month, said the case echoed a recurring theme in her work, where journalists who expose abuses face arrest, while those who commit the abuses do with impunity. Duterte, who denies being behind the case, has singled out a Rappler for criticism, also banning it from covering his public events and forbidding government officials from talking to Rappler reporters.
To seek ways to take care of it. That includes professional medical help from the best available. The Manila-Beijing Medical Associated Incorporated.
Their transactions and use technology and accelerate service delivery. The President issued a directive to Land Transportation Office, Social Security System, Bureau of Internal Revenue, Land Registration Authority, and Pag-ibig Fund as he delivered his fourth State of the Nation address or SONA at the House of Representatives.
Based on complaints received by this contact center, Contact Center Bayan, that's in my office. The LTO, SSS, BIR, LRA, and Pag-ibig are the top 5 agencies that need to drastically improve their service. I reiterate my government.
The chief executive also directed other government agencies and corporations as well as local government units to simplify their processes.
Just like the others, you can do it electronically. You do not have to go to the office. I've been asking that from you since 3 years ago. Pag hindi pa ninyo nagawa yan ngayon, papatayin ko talaga kayo. Simplify and make your services responsive to client-friendly. Your client is the Filipino, our employer. From where the money in our pockets come from our salaries. It's for our people.
President Duterte said he signed last year the Ease of Doing Business and Efficient Government Service Delivery Act, a significant piece of legislation to improve a service delivery and fight corruption. The implementing rules and regulations of the Ease of Doing Business law were signed last week. With the signing, the President also urged Filipinos to report corruption to the government's 888 hotline that is open 24 hours a day.
Sinasabi ko na sa inyo, be assertive. At pag kayo o ikaw hiningian more than the required payment by government, at humingi pa sa iyo. I've been telling you, mag-iskandalo kayo sa opisina. Make a scene. Sampalin po yan. Kasi aabot rin sa akin yan.
In an effort to push ahead with concrete cooperation, ASEAN and Turkey adopted a 5-year roadmap to forge collaboration in areas of mutual interest. The roadmap, a Practical Cooperation Areas or PCA, was agreed at the second meeting of the ASEAN-Turkey Joint Sectoral Cooperation Committee at the ASEAN Secretariat. The PCA will serve as the overall framework for engagement and cooperation between ASEAN and Turkey from 2019 to 2023. Both sides expressed a strong commitment to effectively implement the PCA to further substantiate the partnership. For this purpose, a dedicated fund to finance future ASEAN-Turkey cooperation projects has also been announced. ASEAN and Turkey further exchanged views on ways and means to enhance ASEAN-Turkey cooperation in various areas stipulated in the PCA, including on countering terrorism and violent extremism, trade and investment, e-commerce, public-private partnership, MSMEs, tourism, renewable energy, science and technology, education, disaster management, ASEAN Smart Cities Network, sustainable development, culture, ASEAN connectivity, and narrowing development gaps in ASEAN. The ATJSCC was co-chaired by Deputy Secretary General for the ASEAN Political Security Community Department, Wang Antoine, and Ambassador of the Republic of Turkey to ASEAN, Mahmut Erol Kilik, and was attended by members of the Committee of Permanent Representatives to ASEAN and a number of Turkish delegates. The ATJSCC meeting is a key mechanism of ASEAN-Turkey sectoral dialogue relations. ASEAN convened a special meeting of the Committee of the Whole for the ASEAN Economic Community, or CAO, on the Fourth Industrial Revolution, or 4IR, in Bangkok on the 13th of July as it embarked on collaborative efforts to maximize opportunities from the 4IR. The special meeting was organized to further discuss concrete next steps that would guide ASEAN's work on the 4IR. And I quote, "Driven by increasing digitalization and innovation, ASEAN is on the brink of technological revolution," Deputy Secretary General of ASEAN for Economic Community Dr. Aladin Rillo stated in his welcome remark, highlighting the importance that Thailand gives to prepare the region for the 4IR. Mrs. Aramon Supthawithum, the Director General of the Department of Trade Negotiations of Thailand's Ministry of Commerce and Chair of the Senior Economic Officials Meeting, stated that the 5 4IR-related priority economic deliverables of Thailand's 2019 ASEAN chairmanship are progressing on schedule. Mrs. Supthawithum emphasized that there is still a need for a collaborative mechanism to enable sectoral bodies under the 3 pillars of the ASEAN community to work together. Despite various initiatives to address the challenges of the 4IR across different ASEAN sectoral bodies, Mrs. Supthawithum added that the ASEAN's effort to convene the special meeting is crucial to solidify the region's cooperation on the 4IR. Attended by chairs or representatives of relevant sectoral bodies across the 3 ASEAN community pillars, the special CAO meeting also discussed, among others, the potential for ASEAN to come up with a consolidated strategy and enhanced coordination mechanism to strengthen ASEAN's work on the 4IR.
Ako po si Lilet. Lagi po kayong manood ng Young Once Upon a Time, Season 3, tuwing linggo, alas 8 ng gabi, dito lang sa Net 25.
Straight. You never know when a simple hi or a smile can brighten someone's day. In the words of George Eliot, wear a smile and have friends, wear a scowl and have...
Welcome back. Once feared by Thai rice farmers, giant snails are now being pampered for their precious slime, which is prized by the cosmetics industry, particularly in South Korea and the United States. Watch this.
Don't reject slime, can be used in something else.
เป็นชาวบ้านธรรมดาที่มีอาชีพทำสวนทำไร่ที่ในพื้นที่เขามีหอยทากตัวนี้ที่มันทำลายพืชผักของเขาเนี่ยเขาก็เลยเก็บมาทุกทีเขาจะโยนทิ้งให้รถทับหรือโยนลงแม่น้ำอะไรอย่างเงี้ยค่ะ
ที่เราจะนำเมือกไปใช้นะคะก็จะต้องทำให้เมือกนั้นบริสุทธิ์ก่อนนะคะแล้วก็ปลอดสารเจือปนต่างๆแล้วก็แบคทีเรียที่ก่อให้เกิดโรคนะคะเราจะใช้วิธีการกรองผ่านเมมเบรนฟิลเตอร์นะคะ
When we do same this for they can communicate
ธัญพืชพวกเกรนหรือถั่วเขากินได้หมดนะครับเปลือกไม้แม้
Bali is rolling out a ban on plastic straws and bags to rid the holiday island of waste as Indonesia scales up efforts to tackle its trash problem. Millions of tourists are drawn to Bali every year, but the tourist hub has recently become a poster child for plastic pollution in the country. In a first for Indonesia, Bali announced a comprehensive ban on single-use plastics last year, but full implementation was in doubt until last week, when the Bali government prevailed in a Supreme Court challenge from the Indonesian Plastic Recycling Association. Take a look.
Segi negatifnya sih memang agak ribet, apalagi kalau kita lupa bawa kantong plastik, jadi kita harus mengeluarkan biaya lagi untuk pembelian tas belanja. Tapi kalau dicari dari segi positifnya, kita efisiensi penggunaan plastik. Sampah plastik kan susah sekali didaur ulang. Mungkin dengan cara seperti ini saya beli kantong plastik, contohnya saya beli kantong plastik tas belanja ini satu, saya bisa pakai berkali-kali.
Selaku konsumen merasa sama sekali tidak ada keberatan karena program pemerintah itu sangat amatlah baik, di samping untuk sebagai ramah lingkungan, di mana kalau kantong plastik itu bisa di samping untuk mencemarkan lingkungan, juga untuk kebersihan juga kurang sehat.
And that is the latest news in the Southeast Asian